What's going on, folks? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. Technically, the very first one of the year. We got Carter Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpley Jr. now. Today was Media Day. A lot of folks talked to us. So we're going to take a second and kind of just talk about the overall themes that we've taken from the players from today. So, Carter, we'll start with you. Um, they let off with clues, pool. We heard from Bilal as well. What are some of the things, I guess, the overarching vibes and themes that you took from today?
Main thing is, I feel like a lot of the guys are optimistic. That's the word. But we all know what the outside expectations are saying about the team. They're gonna be, pretty much a lot of rebound. They're gonna be one of the teams that, one of the worst teams in the league. That's where expectations are. They brought it up during media day, the Las Vegas odds and whatnot. But even nationally, you could just kind of check the pulse of what they feel about the Wizards, and it's an afterthought. Some people just expect Jordan Poole coming here, average 30, and keep it moving. But the team not feeling like that, but they trading lightly. They want to sneak up on people. You can understand that they kind of just, we just gonna put the work in and lay low for right now. But when you look at the rosters, it's reason to have optimistic. You got guys that have done some work, but you got a bunch of young guys eager to prove. And I think that's the difference with this roster. As they, Kuz said, they retool, not necessarily rebuild. It's motivation for all the guys, even from the top guys, Kuz and Poole, who have rings on their resume. They're eager to prove that they can be the guy that you can build a franchise around. You see what I'm saying? So all the way down to the rookie, Bilal Coulibaly, he's trying to prove that he belonged in the league and he was worthy of his high pick. So that's the sense I get from the team or whatnot. And they do have talent. It's just a matter of them coming around. I definitely like the addition of Tyus Jones. I really like that. People don't get that dude enough credit. I've been watching him since high school. And, what all the players have said, when they got to run with him about 4 or 5 minutes in, they understood what makes him special and all that. He had that in high school. So he's a prototype traditional point guard who looks to set guys up, but can efficiently get his as well. But he just looks to set the table for everybody. So I think that's going to keep everything in the flow. I know you're going to get to it probably, but one of the things they killed the Wizards last year was bad shot selection. And you won't get those opportunities because he ain't going to pass you the ball in a spot where you don't need to have the ball. That's what makes him great. He's going to get the ball where it needs to be to the guys where they're most effective. And if the defense kind of shuts that down, he'll get to work. So that's basically what you have with these guys, man. So I just see a roster where everybody's just eager to prove, man, and that's a dangerous team because these are the type of teams that can sneak up on some of the better teams across the league that are expected to do things because they're gonna come here. This gonna be an easy win, and find yourself in a dogfight, and that's how they can get wins.
Yeah, I think another thing that came out was so many players talking about with the new front office and professionalism, which was huge. You and I talked last week, not related to on court specifically, but it was interesting that is a theme that we heard many times. Brought up Tyus Jones. He was heavily praised today, even when not directly being asked about Tyus Jones. Folks kept asking about the pickup games, and his name kept coming up. Shooters asked about things that we're looking forward to this season. His name was brought up. I know people like to ish on the old schools so much, but having a table setter, a true table setter, a true floor general, goes a long ways for the reasons you just named. And again, you got a team full of people, like a team full of players, young players that are no one's made it. Like between from Bilal to Denny's still trying to find his footing. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Corey still trying to find his footing. No one's made it, so it kind of took the I know people brought it up today, like the timeline's kind of more flush now. Everything kind of fits a little bit better, and I also like that both Poole and Kuz brought up their experiences playing with their former Hall of Fame teammates. That matters it matters. Having to learn how to do those things as a youngster goes a long ways versus the other way when you're the youngster, you're the guy, and then you have to learn how to do it on your own. It's two totally different things when you're a youngster and you have to buy in because of the culture that you're around, what have you. Um, and you mentioned, the dangerous thing. I think it was Landry Champion that brought up that specifically, citing it being a dangerous group, and that's exactly what this group has the potential to be. Two of your lead dogs, they won chips while fitting in a row, and both of them had to be relied on at different points of those championship runs for their respective teams, right? So you get here, and it's a different mindset to come. Like I know, like you mentioned, people just like, oh, they're about their buggies, but I don't think either one of them are coming here like I have to do anything. They want a chip already, y'all. They don't have to come here and average rings, hold so much meat. Now it's they have that rare opportunity to if it works out, not this year, but together, like in the next few years or whatever, if these two were to be the two, the driving force behind this organization within the gym, think about what that means for those two. That's an opportunity. That is ahead of them. I think one of the things JP brought up was talking about this group, how competitive they are, which is something that's a welcome thing to hear. That's something we've been begging and asking for several years now. Just go out and freaking compete. I almost said the other word, but just go out and freaking compete. How many nights, was this out with? It was like, yo, why didn't y'all compete like the last month? Just to be honest, right? Like it was, I had my mask on during it. My facial expressions were crazy. I'm happy I had a mask on during it. My facial expressions were not acceptable during some of the discussions because it's like, bro, this is all anybody been asking for. Again, I'm not a fan. I can only imagine what the fans thought listening to it all. But go ahead. I feel like I've been talking too much.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like any basketball player should be competitive. It should never be a question about that. That should be number one. That should be rule number one. You know what I mean? So that's excited to hear not just a couple of players, but the consistency, a consistent thing amongst the players that came in and talked. That's what they said, and also the camaraderie, how they're going on out, and they've been together. They've been here working out for a month. You know what I mean? That's great. And you've got veteran players that said they've played on multiple teams. They said they've never had that. Guys usually show up during training camp and then try to build it in. But guys are coming in early and trying to do it, which means they're trying to show each other they're serious. And also the new front office, man. Look, it's a trial period, and you know, sometimes reputation speaks for itself. They seem that winging these guys done and OKC and the Clippers, whatnot, it speaks for itself, man. Both of those teams are playoff teams. You know what I mean? With the Clippers having championship aspirations, you know what I mean? So it's a sense of you do your job, we'll do ours. And if you can't do your job, gotta find somebody who can. And that's how it should be at this level. You know what I mean? And honestly, it starts before you get to this level. You kind of starting a little bit of high school, definitely in college, you start getting that, you ain't doing your job, I gotta go recruit and find somebody that can. You know what I mean? And that's what it is, man. I like the fact that they said they're fast. There's a lot of speed, which means there's really no excuse for these guys not to be flying around the court playing defense, which is what we've been discussing to see the level of defense for the last few years. It's been bad, you know what I mean? Consistent. They've had spurts, but it's been bad. And that's something they all have said they got to improve on. Now, certain guys, I know they're going to bring. I know Denny's going to defend. DeLon, I know he's going to defend. Bilal, even as a rookie, he got to defend, even get on the floor. Otherwise, he's going to be watching on with the go on. Certain guys that they're going to defend, man. The other guys got to be more consistent. You know what I'm saying? Kuz, Kisper, all those guys are going to play. Jordan Poole, most definitely. Hell yeah. You can't ignore him, man. Even some of his former teammates with the Warriors said that. Like, they would get on him about that. You got to get stops, man. Because it puts that much more pressure on you offensively to have to score. Whereas if I'm holding you down, I'm in a little slump. It's not that much pressure right now because neither one of us is scoring. But if you're an elite scorer like Jordan Poole, I'm gonna get going sooner or later, more so than you. So that helps my team. But at the end of the day, when you're not defending, it can kill trust. You know what I mean? You flying around 22 seconds off the shot clock, it's 2 left, and they just make a pass. Somebody got wide open, dunk a layup or jump, and you're like, what the? And then the film shows the same person. When they on the floor, you don't trust it, so you want over defend, overhelp, and that's just as bad as not doing it at all. And then everybody not doing their job, trying to overextend, and it's just chaos, man. So you have to be able to round that in. I'm glad it's a consensus that everybody's kind of looking at that end. It's like we got to start there, and then we'll get to the offense. But I love the fact that they're saying they're up and down. It was funny hearing and that Cruz got called timeout and pick up run, but that tells you how up and down it is. You know what I mean? It's like, hold on, man, what we doing now? Like, come on, you know what I mean? So if they're calling timeout and pick up run, what is the opposition going to do? So this could be a team that could be dangerous. You know, this team remind me of, honestly, a few years ago, the Brooklyn Nets with Jared Dudley and those guys. When everybody's like, they traded everybody, they're gonna be trash and all that. Jared, all those players was young. You know, not what's my man name, LeVert. All those guys were young, and next thing you know, they giving Philly problems in the playoffs, and they over exceeded expectations with them. Like, oh man, y'all got a young core here. This thing has a potential to try to make that run if they stick with it, and really stick to all the things that they preach today in media day, and also. Wes Unseld, I feel like this is his first year he can really get the coach and show what he's all about. A lot of people over the years been killing him, like, man, Wes Unseld ain't a good coach, man. They need to let all that silly stuff. And I mean, you know what my reply is, man, I don't know what he is. Because I know for a fact he didn't tell that veteran player to take those shots. No coach was telling that. I know for a fact he did not tell these veteran players not to defend. What coach was telling that? So I don't know what he is. You had guys on road because they felt they could. You see what I'm saying? So this will be the first year where he could really do what he does, and we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a lot of proving to do up and down this roster, this team, the whole nine, man. So that's why my word for this team is optimism. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna see. Can't judge you by what happened last year. It's a clean slate, not new ownership, new front office, new everything. So yeah, new coach to go, new system, all that. So you're gonna have to show and prove, or you may not be here long, or in the league long.
Yeah, and I think the other things they just feel like to your point about what West, it also feels like so much. They feel way more self-aware, and it feels like there's clarity. Not to say that roles have already been defined, but I feel again the self-awareness to it. You got the youngster, the first round pick. Like I know, like someone asked him about minutes. He was like, "Man, if I'm not playing defense, I'm not getting." Like he understands. To get minutes my rookie year, what I need to bring to the table. Like all the other stuff I'm working on is cool, but to play, I know what it's going to take. Corey Kispert gets up there. People ask him a couple of questions about shooting. The man kind of brushed those off, answering whatever. Or in the first thing he does, like my number one priority is defense. It can't happen. Me being taken off the floor at the end of the game, being subbed out for his defense substitution, and he's right. Um, so again, these are things that have clearly been addressed from the players that did it from respectively, and definitely from the staff. So to your point, I'm interested in seeing what stuff looks like already, and clearly, if what we know right now, we know the two lead dogs in the ring, is Kuz and JP, and both of them talk about the importance of being off the ball, being able to play with and without it. Corey talking about it just seems like everybody understands that for this group to be as dangerous as they think they can be, they have to play defense. They plan to get out and run, and they want the ball moving. Um, all things that I think anybody who's watched this, different iterations of teams that this organization has rolled out has been asking for. But it's only words. It's media day. However, there's a distinct difference between what we've heard in the last 4 media days and what the heck we sat here and heard today. Obviously, only time tells, like you said. They got to go out there and do it, prove it, what have you. The camp starts tomorrow. But yeah, it was just interesting the themes, like the heavy themes that that we walked away with from today. Also, one thing I know we're going to talk about the season forecast. So it's going to play right into that. You talked about them getting together this early, and obviously that comes from I don't think it's hard to think about the two cats who came off winning chips. I'm just saying the importance of that unity that early. Um, And for somebody like Bilal, I think Bilal said it would have been way harder for me coming in. I would have been more stressed if I showed up at training camp. If you take away the team meeting and getting together already, prior to now, the kid said he would have been like I would have been more stressed. Right now it's a little bit easier. The stuff I was playing, I already met my teammates. I've been running with them already. Obviously, you have not played a game in the association, but think about those things that are taken off the table versus somebody like Johnny Davis, where it was get drafted in training camp. Like that crap matters, man. But if you had nothing else for this, you want to slide into the season forecast. Or did you? Okay. So I'll just ask you straight up with everything that we just talked about, because everything's just generally flowing into a negative discussion. What we took from media day, talking about this team being a dangerous team. Hearing the Vegas odds brought up several times and yada, yada, yada. People looking, the Wizards are at the bottom end of that spectrum, what have you. That's it, to get closer to basketball actually being played, because, Vegas odds are what they are, just odds. Grand scheme of things over the years in sports, those things mean nothing and something at the same time. But whatever the sport is, they have to go out and play. So your thoughts on this from a basketball standpoint, season forecast?
Like I said, my thoughts is they could potentially have, a run where similar to the Brooklyn Nets run from years ago. What's up, Tony? Appreciate you joining us, man. I feel like they can have a run like that if they do everything they should do. That remains to be seen. We all know it's ups and downs throughout the season. What's going to happen when they may hit a slide, like a 5-game slide? Is everybody going to go rogue and let me get my numbers? Quit on a mission, quit on a process or whatnot, quit on the schemes and stuff or the coaching staff or whatnot. That's when you're supposed to dig down and stay mentally tough and stay with it, because you always come back out on the other side if you stay with it. So, that's my season forecast. Like I said, I think they're gonna sneak up on a lot of teams, because a lot of teams gonna come here thinking it's an easy win, and if they do the things that they say that they expect themselves to do, they'll get wins. Where you be like, look at the schedule on paper, they shouldn't get those wins. And that's what that Brooklyn Nets team did a few years ago. Then they found themselves getting in the playoffs because they were getting wins they shouldn't get, but they were held with the teams kind of on their so-called level on paper. Like you might be lottery bound, you're not going to be a playoff team. And if you're competing with the top tier teams, then the teams that's kind of predicted to be at the bottom of the league, you should be able to get those W's. And that can keep you around 500. Around 500, that's a playoff team. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to go that far. They kind of wounded right now already. Half banged up. Sherman are banged up. Those are key guys that's going to be in the mix. So, you got to look at all that. Plus, it's a new team. Everything's just new. You know what I mean? I'm glad they building the chemistry early. I love the fact that they're leading. You know what I'm saying? Like Koulibaly said in the locker room, Jordan Poole moved the tape, his name tag. Now you're going to sit with me, bro. You know what I mean? I'm going to make sure I take care of you, make sure you're good. Like how they embracing young fella, and they not threatened by him, trying to make life hard for him because he's a high pick. And he might be, obviously he's building to be the best player he can be. And if he maximizes his potential, he's going to take some jobs. It's just take minutes. It's real. You know what I mean? But they're not letting that affect them. They trying to build up because they realize the quicker he develops, the more he can help the team. The sooner he can help the team, that means more wins. So, and they already raving about his defensive potential. The fact that he's a rookie and he played an NBA game, he's a youngin', and he's already in the pickup game coming from the lane and blocking 3-point shots. That got me excited right now. But I saw that on film, when he was getting drafted. You saw the defensive capability, man. So the fact he's doing that in a pickup lets me know he's going to be on 1 million in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? He might foul out, but I'd rather you be aggressive fouling out than just give up easy points any day, because then that doesn't matter you seeing the game slow down. But like I said, man, having Tyus Jones, man, I don't think people understand how big it is, man. I don't think people understand, because he's going to stress defenses. That's what I'm saying. He's going to stress defenses, and he's not going to give them easy points because he does not turn the ball over. Matter of fact, this is going to make people sick. As a point guard for his career, he averages 0.7 turnovers a game. 0.7, but he averages 3.9 as a backup point guard. Last year, he averaged 5.2 assists in 24 minutes per game for Memphis, backing up Ja. And you know Ja's playing big minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, and only averaged 0.9 turnovers, man. It's so now double that once he get the minutes. You know what I'm saying? 35, 40 minutes, double that. You see what I'm saying? He averaged 10 points as well last year. So that can easily be close around 20. Obviously, he's going to be over 10 assists. And fine, if you want double the turnovers, that's still only 1.8. I'll take that any day because we've a lot of, the point guard play here. Wall, Russ, and all that. We've seen some great ball, but the turnovers, whew, and sometimes you look like a double agent sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like who you with? So it gets rough at times. So that's what I mean. It's the little things people not looking at on paper. So if you're not giving the other team the ball to beat you, but you're finding guys and they're scoring efficiently, and all up and down the roster, guys coming in off the bench, he said, man, also you can't forget guys like DeLon Wright that can run point, all that. I'm actually to see what Jordan looked like this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, my bad, Johnny Davis. What I keep saying, Jordan Davis. Johnny Davis, what he looked like, the leap he had, because he came on strong at the end of the year. I'm excited to see what guys, what type of leap guys make. Even Denny's one of the ones to really pay close attention to because this rookie contract almost up. You know what I mean? So he got shown through, and we all saw he has the ability. Denny just gets it in his own head. So is he going to see out his own head and hoop and continue to produce? If he does that, he's a totally different player. We've seen that. So it's just little things with this team, man. And if they manage to do the little things, they're going to sneak up on teams and get wins that, like I said, on paper, most teams look at the schedule and like, what's this losing at? What's the other game? Then you look in the box score the next morning, you're like, they won. Get a few of those, it changes your season. So, and they're fully capable of doing that. So, but we're going to see. They got, we've been in a lot of media days, you know what I mean? A lot of things been said and preached, and season come, it isn't followed. So we're going to see what happens.
Not for sure. I love I think the Brooklyn team is a great reference point, right? And even thinking of that Brooklyn team, I think while they were I think we can both agree they were definitively better defensively how that team was constructed. However, this group has some more firepower in terms of on the offensive end, what they bring to the table, let alone with and this is not to knock that Brooklyn team. No, they're the horses, they're two lead horses on this group. They've done things that the horses on that team hadn't done at that point. And like you said, so just to be honest, right? Like those are the differences. So where they probably are behind that Jarrett Allen-led defense, which was tremendous. That Brooklyn team at times could have scored. It was rock fights. Everything was rock fight, and they won. They won more than their fair share of rock fights because they got other teams to play rock fight too, right? You get the other, you muck it up, get the team to play your way. It typically doesn't work out. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm just interested to see, like you said, if they live by what they've talked about. And I'm not, it's too early to say what side of the line I'm on as of right now, but right, if they just consistently try on defense, they'll be okay more often than not every night. Like literally, I don't think people see how low the bar has been on the end of the floor here. Just literally all 13, 14 people actively trying goes a long way. I love the point DeLon brought up. Talk about him needing to be in better shape this season because he was like last year. I was in good enough shape to play great on one end, but not the other. So the games offensively, I couldn't pick my spots. I couldn't help, and I know that made you smile when I was watching. I didn't even look over. Again, the self-awareness of this group is crazy. And again, gonna go, staff, front office, west of the staff and whatnot. Excuse me. Think about what's being shared. Like everyone knows what it is they need to bring. And like you said, if the pace is that great and your pickup who's out here calling timeout, it's hilarious in its own right. They understand how they have to go about it, right? Like they said, we're gonna have to grow into becoming a better half-court team. Cool, a lot of youth. Good half-court teams usually got a lot of high IQ players on the floor. Cool, you had to grow to that, which means you have to strap and get out and run. have to strap and get out of the room. And that's running off of makes and misses. Running off makes and misses. Preferably off of misses, but it is what it is. And even on the defensive line, if they're actively trying, like at least there's a place that they can get to by the end of the year, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to. They're nowhere near what that Nets team started the year at defensively, but they got a wiggle room that Nets team did not have from an offensive standpoint. Where we've seen Kuz and JP go nuts for their respective teams in the past, have different nights where they go crazy, and even Kuz somehow being more aware of feel like he was talking about being more efficient because there were times last year we were like, hey guy, why'd you take those 3 threes? You haven't missed a midi in the last 5 trips, and again. I love him because we keep bringing up this man's name. This is going to keep tying back to the fact that they got Tyus at the controls. Tyus not going to let you if you start wilding. Words will be shared, or the ball will go. Or the next time you see the ball will be when you cut. You won't get it behind the line for a little bit. Like those things matter. Again, I think they can be dangerous. I mean, what's the bar been here for a while? Like, what folks been excited about playing, making the play-in or whatever. Cool. Like, they should be able to. I wouldn't be shocked if they're playing team. There's no reason they can't be a playing team, right? Anything higher than I think is a little bit too high because we don't know. We just have to find out. If that's the goal, I'm not mad at that. Like, they have to show us, man. It's a new group. They have to show us the words are great. They got to go out there and do it, and it's going to take time. But if we've seen in the past with teams that were technically better because of not better, the roster was more top heavy. Slow starts or bad months, whatever, can derail everything. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And you know what I'm saying? Was over at Larry, Area 11 team, man. Appreciate you joining us again as well. Our usual Wizards regulars. And yeah, I totally agree with him, man. It is a different vibe. It's a different. And, the vibe is do your job and you'll be fine. If you don't do your job, gotta find somebody we can. That's the vibe. A lot of BS won't be tolerated, and it's just known. You don't even need to be said. You can just feel it. Around the building. I looked up that Brooklyn team, the 18-19 Brooklyn. They finished 42-40. They lost to Philly 4-1 in the playoffs. They were predicted to go 41-41. Their defensive rating was 109.7. Their offensive rating was 109.6. They averaged 112.2 points. They were 15th in the NBA, and they averaged 112.3, which meant they gave up 112.3, which was 18th in the NBA defensively. So their defense wasn't one of the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had guys that obviously like Jared Allen and guys like that stood out. But think about it. The backcourt was Spencer Dinwiddie and D'Angelo Russell, who excel on the offensive end. Defensively, not so much. So they just had guys on the forward possession. You know what I'm saying? You're looking back at it, like I brought up, Jared Dudley, Ronnie Hollis, Jeff, like guys that just competed. Karis LeVert, Travion Graham, Fareed was on that team. Ed Davis, Damari Carroll, longtime defender. They just had guys that were professional, did their jobs, and that's the key for this team. That's why I'm comparing this team to that. You know what I mean? Because if you look on paper, you don't go by what you know them to be now. But if you look on paper back then, saying they were going to be 500 was, obviously you're very optimistic. You know what I'm saying? And they exceeded that by one game. That's what I think this team can be. But the difference for this team compared to that Brooklyn team, they got 2 dudes that can go off for 30 at any time in the same game consistently. And I'm talking about Poole and Kuz. That's 60 points from 2 dudes. That takes a lot of pressure off the other guys, man. Then you got Kispert that can give you 10 or 15. Denny, same thing. If he out his head, he can give you that. You got a lot of guys that can fill in the role. Delon Wright, man. You're just a Swiss Army knife. He gonna impact the game in all types of ways. Tyus, he can score the ball. Definitely shoot from 3, man. When he get it back, Daniel Gafford, lob play. I love that Daniel Gafford saying him and Tyus kind of already got to him. Like, bro, you athletic, so you're a lob player. You're gonna make my life easy. You know what I'm saying? These dudes think I'm coming in lane and shoot a floater. You can go up and go get it. I'm throwing it to you. You're gonna eat a lot with that. So it's a lot of It's talent on here, but it's unproven talent overall. So that's the thing that you know we everybody's waiting to see how it all comes together. You know what I mean? Because we've seen teams with under the radar talent will not excel, and then we've seen teams with under the radar talent where it's just like, man, what are y'all doing? This ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? So man, I just think they got something to prove up and down, man. So that's the team I'm looking comparing them to. But the one thing that Brooklyn team did, they brought it every night. They competed every night. They really competed. And who was the leader on that team? Jared Dudley. So who's gonna be the Jared Dudley on this team remains to be seen. So the guy that do the dirty work, coming in lead, but can still produce. You know, and he was doing that in the playoffs. He talking trash to two All Stars. Lee, Benson, all that, man. Calling them out and stuff like that. So, and they did it in New York, pressure cooking. You know what I mean? So that tells you what it is. So we're gonna see what happens, man. But the opportunity is there. It's just something to make it happen.
All right, flow to the last topic for today. Just player expectations for this group. Again, we heard from almost everybody today. Uh, Area 11 team, we're going to get to you as soon as we finish this last little part. We'll get to your last question. Appreciate y'all as usual. But with the players' expectations, who you want to start with?
You just go down the roster, honestly. Let's see. So let's start with the vet, Taj Gibson. Obviously, what do you think? What do you expect out of him?
Continue to be a great voice. And he's an example. So much youth on his roster, man. Um, if we're talking about kind of the standard shifting and just everybody do their job, it's a hell of an example. But be ready, always being ready to go. Whether, we saw last year when I'm sure there was a stretch, after a couple folks got hurt where he wasn't supposed to play that many minutes for that long. But he came and he did what he had to do, adjusted and was productive. That's what you got to ask for. And, he's the OG, triple OG on this roster right now. But like him and some of the other folks we will talk about a little bit later. That's all I anticipate out of him, man. Todd continue to be Todd, continue to be a great guy, especially for a group this young.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. 38 now. He can possibly be that Jared Dudley. You know what I mean? The guy that when he get in the game, he producing, he leading, he playing with toughness, he flying around. And if you're seeing that really don't have anything to prove doing that, you as a young, you got to get your ish together if you're not doing it. So I fully expect him to do that. Plus, be an extra leader and coach in the locker room, and things like that. Gonna move on. Denny. What do you expect from Mr. Abdia?
All right, so if he can keep his head right, so I think the positive here is Cruz and JP being lead dogs. I think makes it a little bit easier for Denny, honestly, because last year, some of the other lead dogs were much older, right? So then you went from the established for that, and then you guys are the shiny new picks or whatever, right? So you're kind of unfortunately next in line of how are you going to close the gap between you and the vet so you can help them immediately or whatever, right? That's not there as much, right? That's not to say that he doesn't produce. I also think the style of play they're moving towards should fit more for him as well. He'll get up and down a lot more. Somebody who we've seen him with big games with double doubles and whatnot, doing work on his last. He can get the rock and push it, man. Again, the lead dogs on this team don't have to have the ball in their hands. We know he likes to facilitate. And again, what he brings to the table defensively, he had a nice quote when he was talking about just in the pickup games, being excited about what Bilal brings to the table as well. Him and Bilal can switch off and different kind of chaos that can cause defensively and whatnot. But this is an opportunity for him. Like, whether it's, you talked about a contract here, right? These folks didn't draft you. It's that simple. It's put up, shut up for a lot of folks here. The only people who kind of like, you got the vets who we know exactly who you are, right? And you're here to be a vet. Then you got the two lead dogs, which is kind of like, hey, can you guys be the face of something versus not can you do it because clearly you've done it. on some level already because there's rings to go with it, right? Um, Everybody else in the middle, you got to find out what you are in this league. And this identity is a big way to find out what he is. For example, not a sore subject, I'm sure. Look at what I know some of us thought already, but look what Rui did with his opportunity, where he got moved to last year. Didn't waste any time, and what that role can grow into this year. But then his opportunity to prove that he's going to be part of this group that goes forward. He opportunity to be part of this new core. It's up to him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on him too long, man. We all know what he can do when he stay out his own way, stay out his own head. Don't let mistakes linger too long. Look, he's in a contract year. Players tend to ball in their contract year because you can't afford not to. Especially with this new CBA, seeing to pretty much eliminate the middle class. Is you either wealthy or you lower class right now. That's how it look, man. On 1 year deals and stuff like that. Like I think Kelly Oubre just signed a 1 year deal with Philly. He averaged 20 last year. That's unheard of. You know what I mean? So just tells you where it's at, man. But he has the tools. He just got to stay out his own way. But like I said, I expect him to bowl because he has no other choice. Can't go to the negotiation table next year and you worse than you were last year. That's just not gonna fly. All right, moving on to another player. A couple youngers. The rookie, Bilal Coulibaly, and call him a 1 year vet, Johnny Davis. What are your thoughts on those? What are your expectations on those two players?
I think with Bilal, clearly, he knows how he has to get a floor defensively, first and foremost. But again, if they're playing at the speed, that's another thing that can help him stay on the court during this time while defense is going to be the premium. You get stopped, you get to get out and run, man. It's a young, freakishly athletic kid. What you think he's going to do in transition? He'll give it the opportunity. I think in year one, that's what it is for him. Get out here defensively. And the other what you do on the other end of the court, that'll come in time. But make your mark defensively. As for Johnny, it's another one of those things where it's a huge opportunity. New regime and what have you. I think he seems like he's a little bit freer about everything going into year two. You and I both old enough to been to watch sports during the times where it took folks a couple years and not the microwave society where it's like you're ruined or something's broken if you don't go nuts year one. This might be a nice opportunity for him to take a step, whatever that step may like, what that step looks like. Remains to be seen. Well, that's up to him, but opportunity to take a step. You talked about, there's gonna be times when you get to play alongside somebody like Tyus. There's gonna be times where you might be primary ball on the second unit, whatever it may be. But what we did see is last year, after his time in G League, he did improve. So build off it. Because it's clearly he is mentally tough enough to go through what he went through last year, and to end the year on a positive note. He's building off it. That's it.
Yeah, same thing with me for Johnny, man. He had a double whammy as a rookie. First time father and being away from his child, the worry, that concern. I know how that feels, and he's away. My job was right here, and it was still stressful. So, and he was younger, a lot younger. Then on top of that, you trying to figure out the rigors of the NBA. And I love what he said, man. He was just like, you don't realize the reads and how fast and how crazy everything is until you actually be in it. And we talk about it all the time. We not playing, but when you that close to the game, night in, night out, you really understand how tough this league is. So people don't take that into account, especially being a rookie. Then you playing behind a lot of veteran guards, you know what I mean? So you trying to see where you fit in with them. You're going back and forth between the go-go and then the parent team. And you can see it start to finally click for him after All-Star break because he came back and he was hooping. He's putting up good numbers and whatnot. He closed the season out well. So, for him, it's just a matter of continuing that progress and just continue to elevate that. Just be efficient and then be, show what he, bring what he was at Wisconsin to the NBA level. And he'll be fine. Coulibaly, I just expect him to be a rookie. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in the G League. Obviously, it's a lot of players in every spot, that he got to compete against, man. But I'm glad he's fully aware what will get him on the court as a defender right now. And then obviously hitting a three or two, hitting open shots when they swing the ball. We all know he's athletic. We all know he can push the ball, make plays, make reads. Well, like we said, he's been playing. The difference between him, he's been playing professionally for a few years, whereas Johnny was coming straight from college. He's one of the top college players in the lane. He only played 2 years. So, um, I think that will help him kind of transition a little bit quicker. Especially being a bigger wing and being more versatile. Where like Johnny, he's just a point guard. Like that's is real. Where Bilal, he could play 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Like say it's a team that goes super small. Like say Golden State at times. Hell, he might even be able to be good at the 4. So, it's just a matter with that, man. But definitely with his versatility and stuff, it's going to give him more opportunities to thrive a lot sooner than later. We're gonna keep moving. I'm not gonna harp on the usual suspects because we talked enough about them. I'm talking about the kind of the key guys. Danilo Gallinari, I feel like because he was hurt, people forgot about what he brings, but we've seen it up close and personal for many teams, especially when his days with the Hawks. He gave the Wizards fits over the years. But what do you think he will bring to the table?
In the Gary 11T, I posed you a question. Ricardo was just talking because he pretty much answered it during that time. And again, if y'all have any more, go ahead and throw them up there. But as far as what Gallo brings, it's crazy that we've been here to watch him long enough to watch him come in as what a bouncy wing and move up and up and up, and through the injuries coupled with age and whatnot, where the league's trending. If that's your stretch 5 option, what have you, it's not a bad thing. That is an unbelievable amount of stress. You got a lot of think about how many folks in the league where it's like they try to make, you try to have someone be a stretch 5, but they didn't come in being the type of shooter Gallo was. Like it's a difference between somebody you're trying to make a stretch 5 and somebody who like can really shoot it to call it stress. Like where the hell is he? I'm 2 steps off is wide open. Those type of cats. So the biggest thing I think Gallo is once he can hold up at the end and do what he needs to do in terms of the glass, I think he's just going to raise stress levels for opponents on that side of the floor, especially with somebody like Tyus. Pick and pop opportunities is just going to create so much space.
Yeah, for sure, man. His 3-point shooting. He's a good free throw shooter, so he can finish games. You know what I mean? He look, he's gonna take pressure off Poole and Kuz, and Tyus is gonna love him. For him, it's just staying healthy. Being sound on defense, being able to hold it down there. Like he already prepared for to play the 5. They're not the biggest team. I think they got like 3 or 4 guys, 6'10", and then it goes down from there. So now you're not a big team. So they're gonna have to do the dirty work, rebound, and get stops and stuff inside by committee. And that's why it's important for them to be fast, be able to fly around, because some of those guys will have to dig down, help out. Like when the B come to town, when Giannis come to town. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. Anthony Davis. I cannot forget the champ, Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like guys like that, when they come to town, you got to help, because even when you have size, it's not enough. So you really got to bother these guys, but be able to close out and get back to your man. Obviously, with a guy like like Jokic, she's gonna find open shooters if you make any mistakes. So you got to be sound. So just looking ahead out in Minnesota, Towns and Gobert. You know what I mean? Plenty of size, Naz Reid, all those teams in here that's gonna be their advantage, and they're gonna have to be able to hold up. You know what I mean? So. But at the end of the day, they got to guard them on the other end. I preach defense. A lot of people think I'm just more so a defense man. No, I like to score and be efficient and make plays as well. I got that mindset as well. But defense seems to be the most neglected part of the game these days. And I just don't see how you can call yourself one a competitor and feel like you're going to win many games, just totally ignoring that and don't work like that. Just being in that glorified, expensive, highly exposed shootout, and that's not how basketball's supposed to be played. Somebody wants to strap up, you know what I mean? So for me, I know if he's healthy, we know we're gonna get from him offensively. If he can hold up defensively, that's a huge addition for the Wizards. That changes a lot, you know what I mean? So especially with Gafford, that's a different look big that Like man, like he's gonna throw teams off because they thinking big, pick and roll guy. He showed he can hit the mid range jumper here and there, a lob threat. Then you come with this dude, you looking for him to be in the paint. Where you at? He already got the shot out, and he gonna hit him efficiently. Changes the game, man. So that's an asset that Wizards would love to have. And last but not least, man, we're going to Corey Kispert. What are your thoughts on him? Then we're gonna close this out.
Very self-aware, man. Kid said what I needed to hear. You knew why you wasn't on the floor. And I'm happy that it bothered you. I'm also happy that you felt some type of way. I would be more concerned if you were okay with it and accepted it for what it was. Like I'm a shooter and someone else can go in there and play games. I'm happy that it bothered you all season. That you like I want to be on the floor. That the words were that can't happen. And we agree wholeheartedly. You need to be on the floor. Can't be fooled, and that's what we talk about. Too often times people talk about offense on the floor, and then the other end, especially when you get in the playoffs, things like that. If you're the weak guy, man, they taking turns, man. He got a little bit of a taste of that last year, and kudos to him for wanting it to stop. It's up to him. I'm interested to see if he can make it, if he can make the changes necessary. I believe him. It's just it happening, right? And to what degree can you make it to where, like, I'm not saying you can turn into a be a defensive player. I just need it to be where outside of the elite, you're not getting hunted by any and everybody. And that goes a lot. And obviously, like, your team would have to wait for a stoppage of play to get you back in the game because you're already on the court. So many different layers to that. So I was happy that I heard that.
I mean, last year, he established himself one of the best shooters in the league. He shot 42% from 3-point range, which was an improvement from his rookie year where he shot 35%. But defensively, man, his defensive rating last year was 120. It was actually worse than his rookie year. His rookie year was 118. He was fooled. There's no other way of putting it. When he got in the game, teams go at him. Just be patient, go to him, and you're going to score. And like you say, he was very self-aware immediately. Where he like that for me to be the player I want to be, I got to get that in and correct it. And he said that he been working on it or not, and we're gonna see. The thing is, we know he's willing to do it. It's just like people gotta understand it's different aspects of the game for different players, different weaknesses that they got to work on. You might not be a shooter, you got to work on that. People only tend to look at the offense and think, "Oh man, you can't shoot, you bad," but he can do all these other things good. So how's he bad? Meanwhile, the guy that can shoot usually can't do nothing else. So why is that more so emphasized as being good more so than the guy that can strap up? To me, if you want dimension, you want dimension. You equal. So you got to improve. You got to improve the aspects of the game, and that's basically what it is, man. What I'm saying? But he understands that if you're a competitor, how you cool with just having dudes pick you out the lineup and just go at. It doesn't make sense, man. So I'm glad he understood that. And yeah, if he improves that end, once again, it makes the overall team better. He'll be on the floor more. He'll be able to shoot more and do more damage. Then he's on his way to becoming the player he said he wants to be. It's not rocket science, man. It just takes hard work and self-awareness, which many players struggle with, man.
Again, man, appreciate y'all for hanging with us, man. It's been a fun meeting day. Again, stick with us. Training camp throughout the week, and obviously the first TV tomorrow night. I was on a little bit more business there, and preseason games will literally start next week. So, this is just a very first of a first Wizards outlook for the year. Many, 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 many more to come. So, Cardo and myself, have a great day. Appreciate y'all.